And I believe we are live. Yes, we are. Are we? I'm seeing 0 viewers on this stream, but hey, I'll take it. Welcome to the third round of PSGL here in Belgium, and this is the PSF2 division. As you can see, Haas are currently dominating this round. They have 45 points out of a possible 58, I think. No, 60. Yeah, that is quite impressive. Oh yeah, I'm joined by a man named T-Dub. Hello.
Hello, yes, it is quite impressive what Haas have managed to conjure up. They've won both races so far, one going to Sergioli, the other to Epic Vale. Sergioli retiring last week, though, means that Epic Vale does have a sizable lead in the championship. That sits at 13 points, 2 races in, with a second and a first for Epic Vale.
Yeah, Epic Vale with a double podium, second and first in the first 2 races. Now leads the championship by 13 points ahead his teammate Sergioli. We're here at the Belgium's track Spa-Francorchamps in the lovely mountains in... I forgot what the mountains were. I get them mixed up with the Austrian ones.
Absolutely, yes. I have to say, we've been to Spa on this game before in the previous season, and we saw the brilliance of the updated circuit.
Yes, absolutely, it was. Yeah. It is a brilliant improvement.
Yeah, it's so much better. You get the real sense of the undulations and elevations as you go around the circuit. The bus stop, I mean, that was just completely flat on previous games. Now it's absolutely perfect and actually very fun to drive through as well.
Yes, indeed. I should mention this track needs no introduction. It is the Ardennes Mountains, not the Styrian Mountains. I don't know why I was going to say Styrian Mountains. As you can see, everyone's on the track already. They think it's going to rain, or they're just wanting to get all the runs out because it is the longest lap in the calendar, 7.004 kilometers.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get 3 runs in a session like this. On a track like this, you're going to be pushing time quite tight. CPI Fraser is the first driver out on track in a flying lap, going a little bit unstably through the Les Combes chicane in the kicks hour. It's at 30.9 first set to time. Fraser hasn't really had the rub of the green so far this season, is currently pointless after a DNF and an 11th place finish, but pace-wise has actually been very, very impressive and will be looking to leave the donut shop tonight.
Just hello to all the viewers watching here. This is PSGL PlayStation Formula 2, live from the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in the Ardennes Mountains. No introduction needed for this track. You know what it is if you are a Formula 1 fan. All the drivers making their way around to start their first lap of what will probably be 3 laps around this legendary circuit. Used to be 15 kilometers or something around that. 8 miles, give or take. It was absolutely glorious. And I remember Jim Clark, like Max Verstappen yesterday, won a thrilling drive in the wet. And I think he won by like 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Yes, I'm not exaggerating that. I think it was at least 5 minutes, I'm sure. But Jim Clark, national treasure.
Formula 1 of the 1960s, I have to say. That is. Jim Clark, though, he was quite outstanding, as was the driver that won yesterday, CPI Fraser, to the top of the charts. By a tenth of a second between himself and Coolman, and then Epic Vale taking over that one.
Fraser didn't win yesterday. What are you talking about? He wasn't even in the race.
Verstappen won yesterday.
Oh, yeah. As we have lots of drivers filtering through. George Ansel has taken the top time. Evan Nye's got down to third. Got Sergioli joining his teammate just a quarter of a tenth behind. Coming through the bus stop now. Used to be an actual bus stop. Is TRT Zane. And he goes up to 11th. And that's Christian going up to the 141.207 for second place. As Lawrence comes through, wriggling that Alpine for the bus stop. A double podium as well, I should mention. And I do believe that livery is wrong. It should have pink on the nose now, not blue.
Yes, it should. It looks a little bit better with a little bit more paint on it, but the Alpine, like you said, jumping into 8th place. Good time early on, though, by George Ansel. And I have to say, look at how congested the field is already. Just over 0.2 of a second from first down into 7th. And the top 14 covered by only 6.5 tenths on the longest track on the calendar.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that. But yes, all but 3 drivers have set a lifeboat there. He's been in Formula 3 last season, I think, or a couple of seasons ago, definitely. I remember commentating on him. He won a couple of races and was one of the contenders. Coming through Legom. Apologies, my French accent is offensive. And then coming out towards... forget these corner names.
Couple of mistakes that we should just fill you in on. Just a couple of mistakes to note. Finlay with an invalidation going through Puon was actually looking fairly competitive in the opening sector, but having to bail out of that. And also TRT Yan was absolutely nowhere near the apex through the Fagnier chicane. That Aston Martin, the Green Machine, also backing out and will have to go again.
Yes, absolutely. 12 minutes to go in the session. Just a quick mention, that corner at turn 10 is Bruxelles, or Brussels, I'm just going to call it, with no name after it. And then Puon coming through Blanchimont. We all know what Blanchimont is. There was a crazy race was it PCF2, sorry, where it went down to the final corner. I think the winner, I forgot his name, made it through to a move on Blanchimont. Actually, he made a move through Rouge as well. It was incredible. Just bringing it up now.
Yeah. Hopefully we see something similar tonight.
I know I don't have any notes, ladies and gentlemen. I have just come in from a long day out, so at least we got here on time. At least I am fulfilling my duties as a commentator.
Aren't we all? We've got a Red Bull coming out once again, along with the Alpine of Life bout. So we'll see how they do on what I can only imagine are their second attempts of the session. People with 10.5 minutes to go, can they get another couple of runs in? It's going to be very, very tight. They've got 3 sets of soft tyres to use. They're going to try and use all of them to give themselves the best starting position on the grid. Remember, ghosting still off, so we don't get any cheeky advantages from the slipstream. So we will be still having that lobby reset between qualifying and the race.
I think it was actually in PCF3. Yeah, it was in PCF3, and they were both safety cars, by the way. It was Zorzo, yes. I think I remember commentating on Zorzo when he was on PlayStation. He's a brilliant driver. He won one of the last race season, just after he jumped into the championship. Yeah, he beat Lewis Walker, his FVR teammate, at Blanchimont to win the race. It was glorious. And he also, on the, I think it's the penultimate lap, as Lifeboat is coming through Blanchimont right now, and picks up some confetti. I don't know what is going on with that corner. It's probably a glitch or something. Yeah, it's Zorzo, I believe. I'm trying to go back to it right now. It was a double overtake. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. A double overtake through Eau Rouge. That takes some absolute guts to pull off through. As by the way, Lifeboats went 6th. Everyone is back out on the track. Still looking very doomy and gloomy in the air.
Yeah, it does look like we could see a smattering of rain maybe come the end of the session, maybe even in the race as well. But like I said, Lifeboat jumping just ahead of teammate Lawrence into 6th place, slightly out of sync with everybody else. Epic Vale, the championship leader, starting a qualifying lap. A little bit of a lock-up down into turn 1 of La Source, but actually rotates that has pretty nicely now, charging towards Eau Rouge and Radin. I'll be hoping to set a quicker time than he's got at the moment. 3rd on the grid would be slightly disappointing considering the start to the season Epic Vale has had.
Oh yes, absolutely. But of course, there's 10 races to go, so don't count your chickens till they hatch. I think before there was Kick, I think there was a Kick TV, which was a football or soccer service. Kick TV, I don't think it exists anymore. I think it might just be Copa 90 now. So no, it was,
I think I know what you're on about, actually.
Like, no, it might have been a spin-off of Copa 90. I can't remember. Yeah, Kick TV, I think it's just Copa 90 football now. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was sold to Copa 90. So I remember Copa 90 very well. I think there was a thing called, was it the Eurofan? And guess who was the Eurofan? Tom Deacon of F1 Esports.
Well, I never.
It's a small world. And speaking of this small world, 7 kilometres, McKillany, or is it Makiller NL. I think that NL might be the Netherlands, obviously. McKillen coming through the bus stop chicane out in that lovely fluorescent green car. I think it's cool. Goes up to P13. The Haas Epic Vale decides to bail. I mean, he's up in the third inning with the V-Carb, which is going to be called Racing Bulls. Oh, goodness help me. It's gone fifth. Cool, man. Kind of like MotoGP. You know, they have all these constructors. And then, of course, they have the teams, the separate teams, you know, Yamaha, Ducati, etc. But anyway, that's a story for another day. That Williams looks very dark at the front view of it. Evan Nye and his... No, that's the other RB just going into the pits. Evan Nye shows improvement to P3. Goes within 3/4 of a tenth of a second. It's a mouthful. Of George Ansel. Never mind! Look at that! Lawrence! Lawrence goes pretty much 1/4 of a second ahead.
And it was a fantastic lap. Absolutely hooked up. Beautiful from the Alpine driver, comfortably ahead. SRT Christian jumps back onto the front row, but still nearly 0.2 of a second shy of that time set by Lawrence. That is quite the benchmark for people to try and aim at.
Yeah, not the only Alpine driver that's putting out bangers this week.
Absolutely not. Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly stand up now.
Pierre Gasly, yes. I'm so glad Gasly's back. He's a fantastic personality in the paddock. McKelney on his lap. Is this going to... No, it can't be a lap. He's already done his lap. Yeah, so he goes into the pits. I think they've all done their laps. He did not try to push him off. Don't worry, they are ghosted, of course. Yeah, I think everyone's done their lap. Let me just check.
I actually think a lot of drivers have made mistakes. I'm seeing some absolutely terrible sector times from a few drivers further down the field. Nordic Ninja had an absolute shocker of a lap in the Williams. Diogo Silva, something fairly similar, although did manage to pull a bit of time back in the middle sector, but with only sat on a 42.4. That's not particularly surprising that some time is going to be found by the Papaya McLaren car. Same goes for Fraser and for Chris Rebel as well. All four of those guys struggling. Diogo Silva to the line, still only 18th.
Oh, yes. It's 18th, Diogo Silva. He's only 142, stuck in the 142s. The only other driver to do that is the Soapbox. E. Finley still not on the board.
Yeah, Soapbox as well. F3 champion in last, 42.2. That is 1.3 off the pace down there with Diogo Silva. Finlay's having some trials and travails, like you mentioned. Also, couple of invalidations for the driver that crossed the line in second last week, picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, but had that removed post-race, so did finish second overall, just a couple of tenths off the overall winner. Yeah,
so he did very well to get that. Of course, people are saying, oh, the stewards are a bit inconsistent, are they? Well, you can't be perfect. After all, the decision is final, whether you like it or not. I pretty much agreed with most decisions, like the one where Verstappen... People thought he got eliminated in Q2 very unfairly. No, 2 seconds after the yellow flag came out, he was demoted out of the qualifying session. He was never going to make it in. And he still won, so no more complaining about that. But yes, they are quite controversial, but I think they were trying to let all the drivers finish the laps because they were in a completely different sector. They were in Sector 3 and the crash was in Sector 1. I know it's not fair, but you've got to remember, it's a 4-kilometre track. It's not Martinsville Speedway.
The only person that benefited was Liam Lawson because he managed to jump up inside the top 10. I tell you who else is making progress. Yeah. The championship leader, Epic Vale, finding a 10th and a half through the first sector.
Very promising as he comes through campus, and then it will be... I can find it. It will be Stabilo for Paul Frere. Yes, that's the actual name. Past the karting circuit, which is, of course, very popular in the rain. Remember the time they showed it during a red flag, the crowd cheered. It shows how committed they are to the sport.
Yeah, that was a difficult race, wasn't it? I feel like we've mentioned that every time we've commentated together at Spa.
I think it was 2023, actually, not 2021. Oh, don't do that, Epic Vale. Oh. It's qualifying, you'll be fine.
Going to have to be a speedy turnaround here, though, for the championship leader. Bailing
Oh
on
yeah,
that
well look at
time,
this. There's so
waiting
much time left. They're only going to have.
again.
Yeah, they're going to have 2 minutes. And if there's a double stack, oh dear, this might be fatal. Either that or he doesn't want to do another lap. We'll have to find out. Yeah, I'm only seeing like 7 drivers doing a lap. 8, 9. Right, they're all coming out now, I think. So, I should be looking at Lifeboat. Lifeboat coming out in the mid-pack. 141.351. That is about 4 attempts down on the session top. 0.18 separating the top time and second place. That's mind-blowing. Right? And where fractions of seconds matter, it is incredible to see things like that.
100%. Incredibly close. I tell you what, a few drivers are going to be disappointed. Leonardo and Finlay getting in what you would imagine will be their final times of the session. Both of them only managing a 41.4, 13th and 14th places respectively. You would imagine they're going to be bumped down. Good first sector for Nordic Ninja, though. Currently in 16th, is going to be the first driver to take the flag, I believe.
Yes, Nordic Ninja will be the first to take the flags. He tries to weave through traffic as we speak. Lots of other drivers getting through. I'm looking at Frank Giorgione, who's back after a week out. Is he going to make the line? He's got 1:05. It's going to be close if he gets there. He doesn't have to worry about traffic as there is ghosting on. Everyone else is making their way through the pack. It's going to be close, I think.
Yeah, those guys at the back have to be very careful indeed. The 2 Hasses towards the back of that train as well. Epic Vale coming in late, bailing on a fast lap. Nordic Ninja continuing to find time in the middle sector, by the way.
Sorry, Finley's went off the track and something's happened to Finley. He's out of fuel. He's already done some laps. So I do apologise for the brief worry about Finley, but he was on no fuel, so it didn't make a difference. Is Frank Giorgione going to make it to the line? I don't think he is. I think he's not going to make it in time. Nordic Ninja's up to 10th. 13, 12, 11, 10. He's cutting it close. 7 seconds.
No chance. Absolutely no chance.
He's not going to make it. He has missed out, so his session is over. He wasted too much time in the pits and has cost him a chance to go up the order. And he'll probably fall down at 2.
Yeah, huge mistake. We've got to watch the 2 Haas drivers, though. The main protagonists in this qualifying session, Sergioli improving by half a tenth in the first sector. What about Epic Vale? A few seconds behind his teammate. He improves again, this time by just under a tenth. Only 200ths to separate them in the first sector, the 2 Haas boys. Epic Vale has bottled it, going over the curb. Tony hawking it, coming out of the Lacombe chicane, and that is qualifying done for the championship leader.
George Hassel goes to the top of the leaderboard. Coleman going in second before George takes it. Evan Nye goes into fourth. Lawrence is coming round. He's faster. He's looking on track to take pole position now. Anyone else trying to set pole? Christian is slower. He's given up on his lap. What's Lawrence's time going to be as he comes to the bus stop? Is it going to be good enough for pole position? Remember, 1 point for the pole position. And to the line he comes and tops it by over a tenth of a second. Absolutely fantastic. Lifeboat goes to P7. Epic Vale has bailed. That rhymes. Evan Knight goes. Gian goes to third. I apologise. And Sergioli comes to the line now. Will he get it? Fraser's went off the track. He already went off the track earlier. Sergioli goes into third. Is there anyone left? Chris Rebel still at a set of time. He goes into 10th. And I think that is it. Yeah, that is it. Lawrence gets pole position, and Diola Silver can only manage P19. It is pole position for Lawrence. Epic Vale is not finishing his lap, so he starts down in P9. Nordic Ninja was on a slow one, so he's just crossing the line to round it off, and I'm expecting Epic Vale will do the same and just... I'd retire on the spot in all honesty, but that's it. Lawrence with pole position and 1 point to his CV.
And it's not particularly close if you consider how congested the field is. Comfortably over a tenth of a second. And Lawrence, it has to be said, the class of the field for the majority of qualifying. One lap that was good enough for pole, the other lap was good enough for second place. Only George Amstel could beat that initial lap that Lawrence set. So a very strong contender for pole position. He got pole position. A strong contender for the race win, you would imagine. Sergio will be satisfied to be in third. Good lap from Jan and Coolman. Down at the bottom, Soapbox, a little bit disappointing. 20th, only on a 41.7. Diogo Silva in the same boat.
Yes, absolutely. So there it is. It is Lawrence getting the pole position and Sergio only managing P3 as we still wait for the session to complete. And there you go, confirmed. P1, front row spot for Lawrence. Alongside him will be George Ansel of Mercedes. Then it will be the two Italians, Sergio and Gian, in the second row. Coleman will take the third row with Evan Nay alongside. Christian in 7th with Lightbout 8th. The 5th row will see Epic Vale and Chris Rebel. His teammate Frank Deschamps is right behind him in 11th. 12th, Nordic Ninja. McKellar will be in 13th. Zane in 14th. Behind his own teammates Fraser, Santero in 16th. Leonardo in 17th. Finley 18th. And in the back row, Diogo Silva and Soapbox.
Bit of a mixed up grid on our hands then. That could be very interesting indeed by the time we get to the race, which is 5 or so minutes away, having to do a little lobby reset so we can turn the collisions back on. In the meantime, though, as we wait for the faux start to take place, do you want to tell everybody about a couple of sponsors?
Let me find them, and don't worry, it's not that certain energy drink. Looking at you, Haas. We are sponsored by the lovely guys and gals at GT Omega, the title sponsor that has been with us since season 34. Can you believe it? That's like 2 years. And it will be much, much more, believe us. The leading manufacturer of gaming peripherals, from chairs, sim racing cockpits, wheels, okay, maybe not wheels, but like wheel stands, anything you can get your hands on, really. Go check out them at gtomega.co.uk, and if you use the code PSGL, you'll get 5% off on any products from them. How about that? 5% off!
Beautiful little deal as we watch everyone plough into the barriers.
Oh, and there's another one, I think. I always forget about the other one. Sorry.
The other one is Sim Racing Centre. If you use the same code PSGL at discount, that'll give you 10% off their services. If you want some setups or some driver coaching to help you on your way and try and shave a few hundredths, a few tenths, a few seconds off your lap time, head over there, use that code, and you can
Sorry.
Get a bit of help.
Sorry, he was just parking at a Rouge. I found it funny. I do apologise to the guys at Sim Racing Centre for not getting their all spiel in. It's not just F1 they do iRacing, they do Assetto Corsa, WRC. I haven't played WRC in ages. I loved Colin McRae Rally as a kid. But yeah, you can get iRacing access for extra $9.99 a month, I think. Let's see. Coaching, €34.99. I'll take that. And then you got those master classes which offer like $200. But not here at Sim Racing Centre. They are the real deal, believe me. You get 60 to 120 minutes. You can always chat with your coach and contact before and after the session. Get live analysis. Get told exactly what you need to go faster. Oh, we've come so far that this niche sport, we went from just a bunch of lads and lasses just racing our hearts out, and now we can make bank off offering coaching. This is brilliant. What's next?
The moon, I imagine.
Worldwide television audience? Well, there's F1 esports, but I mean as PSGL. Something? I mean, we did get, was it like 15,000 viewers once on PSGL F1? That can happen. George Morgan, he was a young lad working at a company we won't mention, not because we hate them, but because we want to keep him anonymous, and it's his life, not mine. And he was just commentating for fun, and then when he touched up his skills and the right moment came, he came to join us, and the rest is history. He's now working with F1 Esports, along with PSGL as well. He's still doing PSGL, of course. Did it with Jack Canaan, but of course Jack Canaan's gone now. He's decided to leave PSGL and go his own way, and we do thank him for his contribution, but it's just going to be really difficult filling the void the Irishman has left. I remember the time they had a Scotsman on it, but not me. A Scotsman way better than me. His name was Andy.
Don't put yourself down.
Well, I've been stuck in this division for years, and rightly so. I've got too much on my life to focus on commentary. This is just a side hustle. Only kidding. I want to advance, but I'm poor in terms of effort and finance. Right, I do believe we're ready to go. Random weather. Oh boy, I hope it rains! You might get a soapbox last to first. I actually called a last to first Verstappen on, well, not last to first, but pretty much essentially last to first. I called it on X. I've been told to call that at gunpoint.
Wow. Who put you at gunpoint? What? I mean,
well, who do you fit? I'm only kidding. Basically, he doesn't want anyone calling it Twitter. X-Witter. X-Witter. Schwitter. Schwitter.
I hope you enjoy this wonderful filling, but we are getting ready to go. This has been much quicker than usual, I have to say.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. Bet I've got the grid wrong. I wish you could actually show the grid. For F1 25, they merely need to show what the grid will be when we're in the lobby. So it saves us having to go again 5 minutes later and realize, oh darn, I got it wrong. But here we go. We are about to start the third round of 12 and end this first quarter of PSGL Season 38. Are you ready? You better be, because I am pumped up for this. I know I don't sound it, but deep down I am. And Lance Stroll is trending on Twitter. You can't do a Lance Stroll here.
I mean, we can talk about Lance Stroll here. How do you crash on the formation lap? Anyway.
Yeah, you can't go off the formation. I think there was an incident on the formation lap once where a car spun and didn't get going again, and we had to start the whole thing again. Quite embarrassing.
That does sound like classic F1.
Classic F1 where the cars looked like bathtubs. Or no, they look like cigars, I think. Am I allowed to mention cigars? Well, people say close but no cigar. We used to have tobacco advertising. But yes, they used to look like weird things, cylindrical cars. For those who tuned in watching Drive to Survive, in the 60s, they looked absolutely crazy and very little aero. And it was pretty much all about the driver and the engine. But here we go. Speaking of driver and engine, we have 5 lights ahead of our 20 gladiators. And we are underway in the Ardennes Mountain. Who is going to get the best start of all? It's Lawrence right now, as he's side by side with nobody, as George Ansel's side by side with Sergioli heading into La Source, and that's the Williams of Nordic Ninja that's gone off the track already. And Finlay right in the back there. He's changing with Soapbox. It's Lawrence ahead of George Ansel, ahead of Sergioli and Jan, coming up towards Radion, and there's some moving back round it is McKiller and Fraser and Chris Rebel getting involved in a fight towards Lake Home. It is an orderly fashion up at the front, and is that some damage going on, or that's just the game being a little fuzzy? Yes, it's the game being fuzzy. And that is McKiller being joined alongside by Fraser, who's just jumped up to 12th place, as there's a move on the outside from Evan Nye around Brussels with Zane, but Zane trying to pull back, but can't do it. Evan Nye gains the place. It's Lawrence in the lead.
Evan Nye, though, is the big loser off the line. Just ran out of road going through La Source whilst battling away with ASRT. Christian found themselves in the gravel and then just tumbling through the field. Started comfortably inside the top 10. Lost 9 places in these first couple of sectors.
Yeah, I know what you want to do at the start of this race, especially when there's only 22 laps and very little room to move around. So here we come towards Blanchimont for the first time of the 22. We're doing the least laps of them all, considering how long the track is. Lawrence leads ahead of Ansel, Sergioli, Jan, Koolman, Epic Vale, who's coming up close to Koolman and is going for the move on the outside, sends it. He'll have the inside, but he's gone wide, but he won't have to worry as, Koolman has to back out there. But he's now challenging position, and look at this, Frank Deschorny's getting interested as well, heading into the corner, and Coleman's not finished with him yet. He's going to try and get that position back, and he cannot. So he'll have to get it down at out of Radion, perhaps. So what's the state protocol going to be here? It looks like, DRS is on, by the way, so this gives George Anso a chance to breeze into the lead, and Sergioli to catch up. Lawrence at the disadvantage there. What about behind? That's Frank Deschorny getting the dive on Christian into his P7, as now gone up 4 places, started P11. Very nice start from him.
Little bit of a bottleneck forming behind Jan in 4th place, nearly 8/10 of a second off the back of Sergio, the Epic Vale, desperate to continue this fantastic start to the race from 9th up into 5th, challenging that Aston Martin, who is in a Haas sandwich currently. Coolman was chomping at the bit to try and pass Epic Vale down the Kemmel Straight, but was not close enough down into Lake Holm corner.
Yes, so Coolman has lost 1 position and looks like might be losing another if he can't keep this pace up, because Frank Deschorny is waiting the wings in the other Red Bull team. Oh dear, I don't want to see lag there. I think Coleman may be all over the place. I hope not. It might be me, actually, as we come down to the backstretch. That is Blanchimont. And Coleman, not Coleman, why am I saying Coleman all of a sudden? Sergioli is becoming an interested party in this battle for the lead. And is that Christian thinking of a move, was it? No, he's gone wide. And that is going to get Nordic Ninja involved. Nordic Ninja is going to try and make a move, but he's getting passed by Fraser here on the outside for P9. Into the source they come, and looks like Nordic Ninja is going to hold off for now. Yes, he is. And now Lifeboat has also lost position at Fraser. No, he hasn't. He tried to make a move, but it wouldn't stick. So, is there going to be a move for the lead now, T-Dub?
I'm not sure. I'll tell you what has happened, though. Epic Vale has managed to get past Jan. Here we go. The lead changing hands once again. Lawrence wanting to take it back down into Lacombe. Sergioli thought for just a moment about sending it up the inside of the Silver Arrow, but deciding to stay in 3rd place. Probably wisely, otherwise we would have had an airplane crash. It is Alpine, Mercedes, Haas, Aston Martin.
Sorry about that. Fraser and Lightbout had a collision out of Lacombe, but they have got out unscathed, and it is Lightbout ahead of the 2 Kick Saubers.
Yeah, Fraser, unlucky not to be in 9th place. Tried to go around the outside of Nordic Ninja into La Source, but got his braking all wrong. Nearly clattered into the back of the Ferrari of ASRT. Christian then leaking those couple of places back to Nordic Ninja and to Lifeboat. Could be at the mercy of his teammate very shortly.
Epic Vale has already made up 5 positions. It's only lap 3. He started P9. And now he's right behind his teammate. Is this Max Verstappen in disguise?
Well, it certainly could be for the championship leader, and I think his teammate maybe wants to get past George Ansel going into Blanchimont corner, just following and shadowing every move from the Mercedes. Are we going to go around the outside into the Pastel? I tell you what, it's Epic Vale coming round the outside of the pair of them. Gets past Sergioli, easy as you like. Can he squeeze his way past the Mercedes? Bit of bumping and grinding going on. It's going to be a drag race over the line, and it is Epic Vale up into 2nd place.
Are you serious? How did he pull that off? I would like a thorough investigation on how on earth he did that, because that was just mythical. And now he's going to have DRS on Lawrence. He is in the best spot imaginable. How does he... What?
Oh, look at this, not satisfied with losing those places. We could be 4 wide coming down the Kemmel Straight and into Lake Cobb. It's Sergioli thinking about around the outside, but it's his teammate Epic Vale who can't quite get far enough alongside to challenge Lawrence. That's surprising, that.
Well, he was a bit behind, and luckily he's still in second place. I just can't believe what I've just seen. I'm sorry. I know it's bonfire night tomorrow night, but guys, leave the fireworks till then.
100%, yeah, and the group behind still very much in the game as well. Yeah, and all over the back of George Ansell, who suddenly is looking very, very vulnerable in 4th place as the two Haas cars have filed through. Kuhlman still in 6th, ahead of Franek Giazzoni, who has still managed to maintain that position over a very racy-looking ASRT Christian.
Well, the cars seem to be sticking together. No one is out of DRS range, which is what we like to see. Shows how much the racing standard has increased on this game, despite all the flaws. We've been getting through it pretty smoothly, for the most part. And look at this, Sergioli is trying to get revenge. Well, he was, and he decided, you know what, that's not a smart move. We'll try it next time. But Epic Vale... There's a chance. Oh, we've lost Soapbox. Can you try and get Soapbox back in, please?
We will do our very best. This is a move down into turn 1, though. Jan sticking his nose up the inside of George Ansell, who could drop from 2nd down to 5th in the space of a couple of laps, but brilliant exit out of La Source keeps the Mercedes ahead.
But now we focus on the real battle, and this is right at the lead. Epic Vale and Sergioli. The Haas dominance could be about to continue here. Forget your Red Bull dominance from 2023. This is the inverse of Haas 2021, but they can't get it done yet. And in fact, Epic Vale, for the first time, has lost a place.
Yeah, interesting. The Haas is swapping places. That was certainly not on my bingo card going down the Kemmel Straight. Lawrence doing a very good job to hold the lead of the race, although the two Haas drivers haven't shown too much intent in trying to pass the Alpine. Bit of a mistake there from Epic Vale. Down into no-name corner. Not going to cost him any places, but just maybe gave him a bit of a scare. Almost ended up in the gravel. And now a wobble going into Poole as well.
Should mention, about 10 seconds ago, the top 5 were within 1 second. None of these drivers are giving it an inch.
Absolutely not. Fighting very, very hard, which we haven't seen too much this season. A lot of them have been very content just to sit in very standard, very boring DRS trains. So it's nice to see them getting their elbows out in the early stages of a race.
Absolutely. But now the Alpine of Lawrence, if I've said that right, I'm very sorry if I haven't. Epic Vale is wanting to get back through. But you'll have to wait for another time. Actually, no, there's George Ansell. Oh, and he bumps him. He bumps him and he can't get the move done and he's pushed off the track. Well, he didn't have the corner there. Oh, dearie me, what is that? That's Lifeboat and Nordic Ninja getting a bit dirty. And is that Coleman getting down the inside of Jan? It is. And it is getting very argy-bargy now. And I'm very concerned that there will be consequences if they are not careful. Sergioli is going to try and take the lead. He won the first race in Australia. Now he wants to win in Belgium. A and then B. Will he win in China as well? On ABC? Well, I don't even know. Sergioli takes the lead. And ahead of Lawrence, ahead of Epic Vale, who's now caught back up to Lawrence as Lifeboat and Nordic Ninja still battling. And Lifeboat gets through this time.
Got to be careful of the kick Salbers McKillany thinking about a move up the inside down into turn number 10 of Brugel's, but just a bit of a wobble under braking, having to bide his time and remain in 11th place. Fraser really struggling for pace as well, though, in 12th, dropping off the back of his teammate with Evan Nye very close behind in the Williams.
Yes, so, oh, what's this? Is that Epic Vale going to try and make a move? I thought it was. It was 0.083 when I was off the screen. But somehow he has not got through. So we are starting to see drivers drop out of DRS range, and that's only at the back 3. Back 2. Sorry, back 2, in fact. Soapbox. Who have you not got Soapbox back in the session yet?
I've sent an invite, but clearly not jumping back in so far.
I did start P20. Is that a send from Lawrence? No, it's not. Oh, what was that from Sergio? Is that a slide? It was, and that's not helping him at all, as there is a scrap behind. This is Coleman and Frank Giorgione, and we've got Christian, an interested party as well, heading into the source. And it is Jan that stays ahead, but what's going to happen when they come out of it? Still side by side, heading up to Eau Rouge. This is getting to dangerous territory now, as further up there's going to be another battle as well. 3 into 1 doesn't really go, but thankfully they get through okay, and now Lifeboat's going to come behind. Further ahead, that's Lawrence going to take the lead. Epic Vale, an interested party, could be 3 wide, but it's not going to be. The two Hasses are going to collide into Lecombe. And is that going to be a change for position? They've got to be very careful. There's the team championship. They want to extend their lead, but Epic Vale is through.
And we had an incredible scrap behind. 4 drivers battling down into Lecombe, but a bit of bumping and grinding as we go through turn number 10. Getting very messy. It's the Williams and Nordic Ninja. Is McKillany as well, smashing into each other plentiful of times.
You've got to be careful. Oh, then the Williams has been forced off into the gravel. That is Nordic Ninja. He is just an unlucky bystander there in the battle between the two Kick Saubers. They collided out of No Name, and unfortunately Nordic Ninja just couldn't do anything and is down to 17th now. A loss of 5 from where he started.
Stewards will be interested in that. I think the two Saubers versus Nordic Ninja. The Williams just getting run out of road down into Pau, and I think the stewards may have a look at that post-race.
Indeed, they probably will, and now Zane is getting involved in this battle. The mid-pack, absolutely fierce. It's like Fight Club in here. Oh no, they say, do not talk about Fight Club. Well, we are, because they are fighting, and I can't see a thing because the camera angles are too close. And is that damage off a car I see? Yes, it is, and that is off Finley. Zane has just gone from bad to worse. He's lost both end plates, but not his entire wing.
And Lifeboat crucially with a 3-second penalty. That's quite early to get a corner-cutting penalty, so that is going to just raise a couple of eyebrows from the drivers in hot pursuit of that second Alpine.
Epic Vale has lost some ground to Sergioli out of Radion. He didn't get the best run, and now it's going to be... Lawrence still leads, but look, he's brought the 3 other horsemen back into this fight. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, I'm going to call them now, making their way through lap 8 now. It's already lap 8? My goodness.
Gone by very quickly, but it is somehow still Lawrence in the lead of this race with the two Hasses, very much in hot pursuit. George Ansell has managed to survive the assault from the various cars that have been holding 5th position. He stays in 4th, this Coolman currently occupying 5th after coming off best in his duel with TRT Jan, which dropped the Aston Martin down into 8th.
Yeah, as you can see, Finley, no end plates left. He got damage in that fight. Just pretty unlucky he was. Not sure the stewards will look into it because of all the chaos going on. I'd just say he was wrong place, wrong time, and he is going to have to pit, I think. And look at this, Epic Vale. Is he going to send it in the bus stop? You're not supposed to do it in a bus stop, as Soapbox has returned. No, he's not sending it. He's deciding, nope, I'm not going for it. I'm going to wait for a more opportune time. As we begin lap number 9 here. And I forget, there is a pit stop. This isn't a sprint race, even though it looks like the lap count.
Oh, we've got contact. Contact down into turn number 1 is Coleman straight into the back of George Ansell. The Mercedes is tumbling off into the gravel.
And that is a lot of gravel, so he is going right down the order. And now Epic Vale will have a chance for the leads to go from 9th to 1st, even though it probably could have took much shorter than it really could have. Here he comes on the outside, Epic Vale into the lead and going for 2 in a row.
Brilliant driving, brilliant performance so far. 9th to 1st by the time we get to lap number 9. But his teammate is going to be chomping at the bit to get past this Alpine and challenge his Italian counterpart for a second win of the season. Coolman dropping back a little bit after that contact with George Ansell. The Mercedes very much coming off second best. Then it's Frank Cizzoni, who's just almost slyly moved his way up into 5th, but we've got a yellow flag at the back.
Soapbox just went off. He's went off the track, and McKillany's got a penalty again. So a second penalty for McKiller. In the race. The second one by McKellar, the first one by Lifeboat, who's up in 6th. That'll be 3 seconds out of their time, and they can't have that removed, I'm afraid, unless they go to the steward's office.
George Ansell lost another place.
Dear.
Nordic Ninja pushing the Silver Arrow further down. I think George Ansell, his race could be run, dropping behind Diogo Silva as well now.
Yeah, has he got any grip left? I'm not sure what's happened. He's got no damage for sure. Oh, he's trying to get back past Diogo Silva, and he's went off the track. He's got to be careful not to go off the track and overtake. Is he going to make the move in the bus stop? And nicely done. As we have a pitter. It's oh no, that's Finlay. He's got damage, of course.
Yeah, we shouldn't be expecting drivers in for quite a while, considering everybody is on the white striped hard compound tyres. We could be expecting the lead to change hands once again, though. Lawrence fancying his chances down the Kemmel Straight of getting it back from Epic Vale, following very closely up through Rouge Radion. This should be very, very straightforward. Over to the left-hand side, just about enough space for that Alpine car, but he does take the lead, and Sergioli is going to follow suit. Not satisfied with second, little bit of a gap, just runs slightly into the rear of the Alpine, but holds second.
Soapbox has given up the ghost. He's in the pit and out of the race. Finlay has pit for a new wing. And Lawrence, the Alpine driver, don't say tractor, has taken the lead once again. He started first and is going to prove that this is a rocket ship. If he can get away from the Haas's, I think he might have this, but there's a long way to go. 13 laps to go here at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, and in fact, the gap's back to a 10th. The gap back to a 10th. This race might be going this close for the entire duration. 1/10. I mean, I'm probably more inexperienced than most commentators, but I have never seen races this close for these many weeks in a long time.
It's incredible, isn't it? And I think this track is a prime example because it's so difficult to break the DRS to the group of cars behind. Everybody just tows each other along. Somebody on the move, though, is Fanek trying to get past his RB counterpart. Red Bull versus the V-Carb car round the outside of the bus stop. I think Kuhlman's going to be defenseless. Bit of contact, though, and a bit of a slide on the exit as well. Kuhlman reassumes the place.
He's just given him a massive slap on the side, and here comes Lifeboat into the inside of Frank Dejonich, bidding for 5th place. Can't get the move done, though, so Frank Dersoni remains in 5th place. And now the two Haas's are going to be at it again. Now, what's going to be the play here? It's going to be Sergioli that gets past, but what about Epic Vale? Epic Vale waiting his turn, I think. Yeah, he's had to go right behind the Alpine. And Sergioli back in the lead. This game of switcheroo continues.
Oh, I think Epic Vale just thought about a move down into turn number 10. Lawrence defending fresh air slightly, but almost being pushed through this middle sector now up towards No Name Corner. And it's a little bit wide, but a wobble over the curb for Epic Vale means he can't make a run of it down into Pouon.
And the problem is here for the Haas's, one of them is going to have to pit. Oh, whoa, that's Epic Vale that's gone wide. And that's cost him a bit of time. One of them is going to have to pit earlier. They can't pit at the same time, obviously. That would be a double stack, and the double stack is on in this game. Still, you can't turn it off. So one of them will have to pit earlier than the other. They'll have to pit at different laps. So one of them is either going to be a big advantage or a big disadvantage. Then again, the undercut does have its pros and cons, as well as the overcut.
Epic Vale probably wants to do the same as Lawrence, you would imagine. So if Sergioli boxes and Lawrence stays out, that's going to be perfect because Epic Vale can stay in that DRS train. He won't lose too much time for the undercut thrown by his teammate. Everybody's staying out for the time being as we reach half distance. As I say that, couple of drivers diving for the pits. Lifeboat one of them.
Frank Deschorny was pushed around in the bus stop by some of the drivers trying to make a move on the outside of the first corner of the bus stop, and those drivers about to pit. Amongst them are Lifeboat Jan, McKiller, Christian, Chris Rebel, George Ansell, Nordic Ninja, Santero as well, coming out of the pits. And this is going to be for, I would imagine, medium tyres. Yes, all of them are on hard tyres to start, so now they're on mediums, and now the race is going to continue between those drivers behind that have not pit. So it looks like that Sergioli, not Sergioli, Epic Vale may have to pit earlier because he wants to get the undercut. And he's right behind Lawrence. They basically have to really push, and Lawrence is not helping Epic Vale here. Lawrence is becoming an obstacle for Epic Vale to try and perform the undercut. So It's quite a important moment in the race for Epic Vale. He needs to find all this time for the undercut.
Yeah, I think Epic Vale is going to be hung out to dry here, going to have to go an extra lap. I'd be amazed if Sergioli and Lawrence don't jump into the pits at the end of this lap to react to the undercut thrown by all of the drivers that came in on this lap.
Have to.
But yeah, I think Epic Vale could be in a bit of trouble.
And Epic Vale trying to extend his championship lead. He may not be able to if it doesn't go his way. Now, what is going to be this very important moment of the race for Sergioli? I think he might be going for it here. Is he going to be pitting? The answer is yes, he is. And Epic Vale is forced to overcut. Very critical for Epic Vale. Everyone else is coming in. Everybody else is coming in except Zane. Yeah, and of course the medium tyre runner's coming through as well. Epic Vale all on his own. He's got a clear track ahead of him though, so he's got to make the most of this lap. He's going to have to pit now.
It's going to be so difficult for him, though. The lone wolf out there at the moment. Who is going to assume the race lead? Coming out of the pits, there is Sergioli. Finlay with the fastest lap again. Lifeboat with the undercut. He could be challenging his teammate down the Kebble Straight.
Oh, dear. He will be, even though he's got a 3-second penalty. By the way, I think Lawrence may have cut the line. The line he crossed out of the pit lane. You can't do that, as Lawrence does get past his teammate. Oh, what's that? Is that Jan that's just went on the grass? Cheeky! I can't believe he just did that. And Jan went on the grass to try and get past. It didn't work, but my goodness, was that brave. Oh,
CPI Fraser with a 10-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place.
Don't know what happened there, but he's probably went off Lacombe, and he's going to have that added unless he appeals it now. Epic Vale watch. Let's see what's happening. He's giving it everything. Is he even using his ERS? He'd probably use it at this rate. Or is he going to make it a longer wait? He's only hurting himself here. He's got a charging field right behind him at 15 seconds behind. Epic Vale maybe in a real spot up over here.
He's surely going to come in here. Bit of a lock-up down to the bus stop. And yes, the Haas is into the pits. Oh, nearly crashes. We saw in qualifying, he nearly pitched it into the barrier. Yeah, and a bit of a slide coming in. Where is he going to come out?
Zane's staying out.
Maybe around the two kick Saubers.
Maybe. Zane's staying out, by the way. Zane, he started in P14, so he's not in the lead battle. Sergioli's going to lead. Now, where is Epic Vale going to come out? He's going to have to do this all over again. And some. P9. And he nearly pushes off McKiller. So he's going to have his first opponent be McKiller as the other drivers are coming through Eau Rouge as we speak. All the drivers are still close together though, so it's not all bad. Lawrence gets through, and he's going to have the tyre advantage as well. Don't forget that. Epic Vale making his first move, getting back past McKiller, and he gets pushed by McKiller as Jan loses position to Christian. I'm going to turn the tyres off now because... you know, it's probably harming our vision of the whole action that's happening here.
So what does Lifebout do here? Does he try and act as a rear gunner for his teammate ET8 Lawrence in this race? Try and protect him from Epic Vale charging through on the fresher tyres? It's an interesting one to play with that 3-second penalty. Yeah,
he has to play defensive, but don't overdo it. He's going to get a penalty, and it would not be very fair on all the other drivers. And then again, this isn't Monaco like Alonso. But yes, Lawrence down in P2 now. He's net P2 as Zane's yet to hit. I'm pretty sure he's still in the lobby, right? Yeah, he's still in the lobby. So he's probably going to pit this lap, if not the next one. Now, Epic Vale is only 1 second. He's just under 1 second behind Coolman. He needs to push. He's had a really scruffy middle sector, I have to say. He was nowhere near the apex coming through Stabilo. Nearly ended up in the gravel, so that's probably why. Zane's not pit, by the way, so this might be interesting. He may play spoiler to the battle as Christian, getting very interested of trying to make a move into Lecombe. Not very traditional to do that. Not Lecombe, La Source. My apologies. So... is Lawrence going to get through as Leonardo has retired from the race in the pit lane? That's his race done. And here comes Lawrence again. And this will be him in the net lead again, even though it says P2 on the screen. Coming through now is Epic Vale, and he is well down on Coleman, but he's only got 8 laps to go.
Not the end of the world, though. We saw how quickly he made his way through the field in the opening salvos, getting up from 9th into 4th at the end of the first couple of laps, then leading the race at stages on, I think, lap 7 or 8. So do not discount Epic Vale, the championship leader, from winning this race. Lawrence holds it at the minute. Sergioli looking strong as well. Epic Vale, though, do not discount a championship leader. Coolman taking too much curb through Pouon, though. This could be another free position for Epic Vale. I don't think he's going to make a lunge down into the Fanier chicane. That would be bold and a little bit stupid as well. Another wobble, though, for Coolman, struggling over these curbs.
Yeah, he's just bringing it right over the curb. He's got to be more careful. He does it again, but he doesn't slide this time, thankfully. But Epic Vale becoming very interested. Oh, and Zane's left the session. Zane has left the session. This is not very good, as in fact, Lawrence has to go around the outside, and this is going to harm Sergioli as well. Zane is out of the is left the session. You try and get him back in. He's had a problem here. This is actually going to pose a problem to Lifeboat as well, who's got a penalty. So he's got to be very careful how he navigates this move. But this is only harming him and Christian as well. He makes the move around the outside. Zane is still in the session, but he's not ghosted, weirdly enough. I thought that was usually the case. He'd be ghosted. He's down in 4th right now. Christian gets through. Surely his car is going to have to pit now. And this is going to harm his teammate. Look at his teammate. He has to weave right through Eau Rouge and Radion. And now Sergioli is going to try and go for the lead again. And there it is.
They could break away, this leading duo, by the way. That gap was just over a second between Lawrence and Lifeboat.
Oh no! Coleman has hit Zane, who has just rejoined the session, by the way, but at the worst time possible. His ghost car is causing chaos, and he's left the session again.
I think those are some internet issues that Zane is having, and tumbling through the field. The AI not driving particularly well there, and that is probably race over for the Aston Martin. Lifeboat has to be careful. 9/10 of a second between himself and Lawrence. The top two could escape. That is bad news for Epic Vale, who's all over the back of Jan as McKinley picks up a second corner cutting penalty.
Yeah, he does. And Coleman's got damage on his end plate. How unlucky can you get?
Wrong place, wrong time. That is exactly what it was for Coolman in that RB.
And he's going to try and make the move. Is Jan on Epic Vale? He's got to be careful because he's got a championship lead to protect from Sergioli, who could get really close to him in the standings. A couple points behind if he wins this race and this results stay the same. It's all a recovery job now from Epic Vale. And Zane joining again. And will he finally get a chance to race without any internet issues, perhaps? 6/10 a second the gap is with Lifeboat. And Lifeboat, if Christian gets past Lifeboat, he'll have a chance to close up on the leading duo as they come through. Again, the legendary Eau Rouge, and that's Radion, actually. A move again from Lawrence. He takes the lead back, but what about behind? Christian, it's closing up.
Not close enough.
Yeah, and the two Saubers, the kick Saubers, have swapped around. And will now be Freezer ahead, but they're 3 seconds down.
Oh, Epic Vale looking for any opportunity to get past Jan, who's dumping the ERS down the Kemmel straight, now pushing him through turn 10 of Brigel into no-name corner.
Again.
Bit of a tap on the rear of the Aston Martin again. He's hustling the ass. Is this going to be a move up the inside into Pouon? No, that would be ridiculous.
He's using intimidation tactics, though. Quite an unusual way to intimidate your opponent. We're up ahead. Well, you've got to strike some fear into your opponents if you want to win races, to be fair. It is racing, after all. You want to win fair and square. I think that's pretty much as fair and square as you can get it when it comes to intimidating your opponent. He's had enough of this. He's going to make the move. He's got enough runway to make the move on Jan, and that is P5 for the championship leader.
The good thing for Epic Vale is there's no real pressure from behind. Obviously, Jan is there, but that big gap back to Fraser, who was caught out by the TLT Zane instant with the AI slowing everybody up, and then Coolman getting the, not getting the rub of the green in that case. So that means that Epic Vale can just concentrate on the cars in front of him. We've got a Red Bull running very wide out of the bus stop there. Not quite sure who that was.
it was Frank Deschorny and his teammate Chris Rebel has gone through, and Coleman, I think, that's the end of the day for the V-Carbs. Coleman retires after that unfortunate incident with Zane.
What are we looking like then? Coming out of Eau Rouge and Radion, Sergioli not using any battery, just the DRS to close up to the back of the Alpine. It is going to stay behind Lawrence down into Les Combes.
So we've got an Alpine Haas, an Alpine Ferrari, and a Haas battling for the win here. Although Lifeboat does have a 3-second penalty, so he's pretty much just acting as spoiler, unless he gets it removed.
Which I doubt, because it was so early in the race.
Yeah. Pretty much, though. Checks out. Ugh. Epic Bill getting close to...
Mistakes from Christian.
Epic
Christian
Bill!
was wide going through Pouon, yeah. Round the outside, that's going to be absolutely beautiful if he can do it into the Fania chicane.
No
Textbook
way!
stuff, Epic Vale to 4th.
I am lost. I've lost it. I've lost any explanation for Epic Vale. The driving is doing the talking for him. I've ran out. It's doing the talking for me as well. Phenomenal stuff, and he's still with a chance to win this. He's got 4 more laps after this corner to make a run for the win again. The Haas team has just been so dominant this season, and it's only been 2 races in.
Have to credit Alpine though as well. Like yesterday, the 2 Alpines doing well. This one not necessarily handed to them on a plate though, but Lawrence leading the way. Lifeboat with that penalty will still finish in 6th place as it stands.
And the fact that is we've had very little contact. Well, we have had contact, but like major damage. It's been incredible. There's only been like 2 or 3 incidents that have affected the whole race, and now Sergioli coming right behind Lawrence, but he can't get it. And Lifeboat coming close as well. We have a big grandstand finish on our hands as the Chris Rebel, as that is a kick sober of McKillop going right off the track. Oh dear, that is a nasty incident.
Oh.
And we have a safety car late in this race, and oh dear.
Epic Vale, by the way.
Yes.
Epic Vale managed to force his way past Lifeboat. The split second
no way.
The safety car was called out. Round the outside of Brugel, he got ahead. It just flashed him into 3rd place. Then the safety car was called. This is not going to help Lifeboat with that 3-second penalty either.
Yeah.
Neither CPI
They're
Fraser.
all coming in. They're all coming in. It's the last 2 laps. What happened, if you missed it, T-Dub? A collision. McKillop went right off the track. Frank Deschorny... he collided with Frank Deschorny, and that ended both of their races, and the safety cars came out, and this has suddenly brought the drivers behind Christian back into the race. Or Jan, sorry. Jan, not Christian. Everyone 7th down is back in this. And I've jinxed myself as well. I said, it's been mostly major incident-free race. As soon as I say that, Lifeboat's coming in for softs. Everyone else is staying out. Some other drivers are coming in. Fraser's coming in. Evan Nye's coming in. This will have to be for softs. It's no other choice. They are down in the middle pack. The leaders playing their game, thinking that their tyres are going to be good enough to win the race, as all the drivers are... Oh, don't do that. That would not be very good if you overtake under the safety car. So we're going to have... the top 6 joined by, top 5 now, Lifeboat's pit. He's actually in 8th, so he's not in a bad spot. The safety car helping him get some free tyres.
It is a lot of work to. Lifeboat's not going to win the race with that 3-second penalty. So we're looking at even Nye in 9th place. In a 2-lap sprint, do we really think the Williams is going to get from 9th place into the podium place? I think it's very, very unlikely.
Indeed. Yes, I would like to apologise for a tyre taking over the screen on my end. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what happened. We inflated that tyre to oblivion, but that pretty much, that's pretty tyres for you, not only kidding. Yes, that was just a bug. A tyre literally just flashed up on my screen, taking over the entire screen, and that's crash physics are quite unusual in this game. There's nothing we can do about it. It didn't affect the race as a whole. It's just I do apologise for causing an accidental seizure. Penalties, please. Might as well just keep it on the penalties. Oh dear, was that a lock up there? Yeah, 3 seconds for Chris Rebel, Nordic Ninja, and Lifeboat. 3 seconds for Flantero and 6 seconds for Finlay. Oh dear.
Yeah, Finlay, it's not going to really make any difference to their point scoring aspirations down in 3 seconds of penalties. It's not looking particularly good as the safety car is in this lap, as we knew it would be. 2 lap sprint to the end. Can Lawrence hold off the charging Haas cars?
Yeah, so pretty much this grandstand finish has been reduced from, what was it going to be, 4 laps to now 2 laps. So much less room for the drivers behind to try and beat Lawrence to the checkered flag. So it'll be the 2 Haas drivers right behind Lawrence. And whoa, what is going on? Sergioli, now he could be in hot water for that. He seemed to have went alongside Lawrence. They'll have a look at that in the steward's office, I imagine, because that was quite borderline. I'm sure it is in the rules. You can't go alongside a car during the safety car. But here we go. Out of the final corner they come. A bit of a slide from Lawrence, but they're underway. And what's happening behind? My goodness me! What has happened behind? There's complete madness happening. I have absolutely no clue what's going on, but we're focusing on the lead right here. You keep a tabs on that, because that's crazy what happened. The 2 groups have split again, and 10-second penalty. Oh, that's why he ignored the yellow flag. Quite controversial, but now Lawrence trying to run away. There's only DRS for 1 lap of this race. Yeah,
very, very difficult. Finlay does Sergioli very close down into the lane. Chicane. Lifeboat under pressure from Nordic Ninja. We got contact all over the place. That crash going down the Kemmel Straight between.
Dear.
Yeah, it's carnage.
It's carnage, and it's at the back, so it's not going to really affect much. At the front, it was Fraser. Finley's out of the race. He had a crash with Diogo Silva. Chris Rebel as Fraser's went off the track. But we need to go back to the lead now. And Epic Vale is going to try and get past his teammate to try and win the race if he can get past Lawrence too. As Chris Rebel, has he got damage, Chris Rebel? He looks like he's dropping back very far.
Yeah, got damaged, caught up in the kerfuffle coming out of the bus stop. Was illegal overtakes going on. Everybody had to back up because they were all getting illegal overtaking penalties on each other. Eventually, it was Lifeboat that had to bite the bullet and picked up the 10 seconds worth of penalties.
So Lifeboat's day goes from bad to worse, but now the cars are starting to approach them again. They will get DRS, I think, if Lifeboat can get a good entry into it. Is there a send? They're going to have to send it here, surely. Final lap. This may be carnage at the front, as Lifeboat, with the tyres, has closed up on them. DRS enabled. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be one bumpy 7-kilometre ride.
The move, I think, is fairly obvious what Epic Vale has to do. Get past one of them down the Kemmel Straight and the other one into the final bus stop chicane. That'll be his game plan, but Sergioli will be having absolutely none of that. Lawrence could be a sitting duck as we come down the Kemmel Straight. The 2 Hasses closing in very, very quickly. The DRS flap opens. He's going to get gobbled up by a couple of cars, and we could have civil war down into Lacombe.
Uh-oh. It could be. He's going to try and get it, but he's not. Sergioli stays in the lead. Is it going to be a repeat of Australia? It's going to be another. Oh, Haas is off, and my goodness, how did Epic Vale save that? He collides with Lawrence, but he somehow holds it. Incredible from the Haas driver. He stays in 3rd place for now. How did he keep that? And this is letting Sergioli run away. It's going to be another double podium for Haas, but it might not be a 1-2 like in Australia. Sergioli's going to win again as we have a collision. It's Nordic Ninja, Diogo Silva have had an incident, but now is Lawrence going to try and get a 2nd place move for another 1-2 for the Haas? I think Sergioli just has it now. He's unmatched here, coming out off Paul Frere. Here they come towards Bushmont for the final time.
Epic Vale could be under pressure. ASRT Christian coming at a rate of knots. Will we see a dive up the inside into the bus stop? Lawrence is charging. No battery left for the pair. They will be around the outside. Are we going to get a Haas 1-2? Who's going to be later on the brakes? Bit of a squeeze goes on off the road over the sausage curbs. Who's going to be able to bounce back? It's Sergio who wins the drag race to the line. It's just about Epic Vale by 9 milliseconds ahead of Lawrence. The stewards will be looking at some of the kerfuffle that was going on the final lap. And ASRT Christian, the big loser, losing out to Jan. And George Ansell with one of the best comebacks you'll see from 16th a couple of laps ago to 5th.
Nice comeback from George Ansell. Another provisional, yes, but another Haas 1-2. If we exclude what happened to Sergioli last time, 2 1-2s in 3 races for Haas. They're dominating this.
Most certainly, yeah. I don't think either Lawrence or Epic Vale will be particularly pleased with the way the last lap panned out. It was the first bit of contact was kind of self-inflicted from Epic Vale. Just went a little bit too late on the brakes down into Lake Com. Ran off the circuit. Lawrence was lapping that up, trying to get the place back, and then I think they just locked onto each other. Both of them understeering through turn number 9, and Epic Vale ending up in the gravel, giving the Alpine a bit of a shove in response to it, and then they retaliated down into turn 10.
Dominance gets more fans.
Sorry?
So there you go. Did I say Haas dominance could bore fans?
Oh, it could.
I apologise if that whispering ASMR did not work out, but there it is. Sergioli ahead of Epic Vale at the line, takes the 1-2 for Haas. It doesn't get much closer than that. Lawrence, very unfortunate, still gets a podium. Jan in 4th. George Ansell goes from 2nd to last to 5th. Quite impressive. Christian in 6th. Evan 9 7th. Zane in 8th. Santero in 9th. And Chris Rebel in 10th. No fast slap point again. Lifebout may have his penalty removed, and if it does, then he will be in 7th.
Fantastic race. Got a little bit messy right at the end, it has to be said, but some very good battling going on for the most part between the Hasses and Lawrence in the Alpine. A couple of other drivers to mention also, but a very fitting way for us to finish the first quarter of the season. And
if Lightbrick does get his 10-second penalty removed, he will get the fastest lap point, because he did get the fastest lap.
Yes, that is a very good point.
So it's for 5 points, not 4. Well,
fighting very hard for that.
The carnage just gets more chaotic every week.
Very difficult to keep up. Thank you everybody for watching though. We will go through a couple of sponsors again. I'll start off GT Omega. If you head over there, lots of sim racing equipment then you can get your hands on. The leading company in the market. If you use the code PSGL at checkout, you get 5% off their products.
Yeah, so don't forget to check that out. We should just let you know that we are back same time next week in Canada. So we could say Australia, America, Belgium, Canada. It's nearly alphabetical order, but really America is the United States. So does that mean Sergioli will win A, B, and C? Is there a D?
Maybe.
No, there is no D. There was the countries beginning with D. Denmark, but they don't have one. But anyway, you know what I mean. Quite coincidental that if Sergioli wins in Canada, he'll have one A, B, C.
Then he could win the Dutch Grand Prix if that's on the calendar.
It is. I thought that was Hungary. It is on there, but no, that would be the Netherlands.
Just
I don't know why they call it. I don't know why they call it Dutch, if they're Netherlands. Dutchia. Duh. Anyway, I would like to thank you to everyone that watched this stream. Right now, the final few minutes of qualifying in PlayStation Formula 1. The likes of Rens Thomason, Cameron Dowd, of course, crowd favourite. Paul Dirk Talesbert, had him last season, I think. R. Mateo, Ryan, Brando, Hazara, Casper Flack, who was runner-up last season. All these names.
Yeah, make sure you check it out.
Absolutely. So we're going to leave you from here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in Canada. Good night.